Good morning, KU, and welcome to the first show of the semester. I'm Matthew Johnstone.
And I'm Aaron. Welcome back, students.
Aaron, this isn't Friday.
No, it's not. It's actually Monday.
This is Monday. Yeah,
it Monday?
Good Monday, KU.
Oh,
yeah.
We're starting off the week.
Yeah, we usually do the Friday show, but we're here, and we're living, and we're excited.
We're thriving.
Right?
We're doing what we can do. Anyways.
Yeah, we're in a new room.
Oh, yeah.
This is a new building. They actually fixed Offer Flint instead of just talking about it for like what seemed like eons.
Yeah.
But now we're here. It's big. It's open. There's a lot of room for activities.
There's actually windows here now.
There's
so you can
actually windows.
Look out.
Yeah. We can see the outside world and not just feel secluded in the second floor of Anschutz.
Yeah. It's a nice space. It's something to get used to, but it should be fun. We should have a good Good Morning KU season this semester.
It should be a good Morning KU season.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I am too.
It's going to be weird not talking about like what are your weekend plans in the morning because that already happened.
Ha.
So now it's going to be like
how was your weekend?
Yeah, how stressed are you for this coming week instead?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited for this new show. Today is a little bit laid back. We got an interview, we got news, and we also have a video that Aaron and I put together, and especially Aaron put hours working into it, editing it, making it really spicy.
I did a lot of editing, and it's fun. You
fun.
should enjoy it.
You should enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think we have the clip ready, and enjoy.
No! You were the chosen one.
You were the chosen one!
So we're back with bacon. Go ahead.
Lester Fixin's bacon. Oh God, that smells terrible.
You're pouring way too
God.
much, Aaron. No.
I didn't want that much.
Stop. Look at the drink disparity. Aaron, why did you do this to yourself?
Why are you the way that you are?
I didn't mean to.
That is so sad. Here we go.
No.
No. You pour.
That's not all.
You pour the bed that you have to sleep in.
I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that smells. Look, smell it.
Oh no!
It smells terrible.
It smells like.
That was not good.
Ah!
That was no. Bacon.
So bacon's bottom tier.
I give that -5 out of 3.
Yeah. I thought we would have a bit like a way to go up after this down, but there's nothing but down. And Bob Ross.
Ketchup.
Oh no. Oh God. Okay.
Salute. Amigos.
Oh. It just kind of tastes like tomato soup. Ketchup, solidly in the middle of.
I give that like 3 ketchup bottles out of 10.
Out of 10. It's time for ranch.
I've had this before. I know what I'm.
This is why Aaron wanted to do this idea.
I wanted him to try it. I wasn't expecting me to do it. Oh,
That
God,
smells so
I can smell
bad.
it from here.
No.
My sense of smell is terrible. Oh.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
Well, we're not quitters. We're not quitters, man.
No.
Oh, God. There he goes. My man.
My man.
Salad dressing, 10 out of 10. Next one.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back. I'm here with our first Dole Fellow of 2020, Ron Marks. Ron, thanks for being here.
Delighted, thank you.
So for some of our students who may not know, tell me a little bit, what is a Dole Fellow?
Well, this is interesting. It was built on the Dole Institute, which is essentially a memorial to Senator Robert Dole and his wife, Senator Elizabeth Dole, and their involvement in Washington politics, which took, almost over 50 years now. The fellowships really have tried to focus on issues in Washington or issues of the politics of the day. In my case, what they wanted to do was have someone come in and talk about intelligence, but also information in the 21st century and how it's being used and how it's being analyzed and how it's being presented to different kinds of policy people, whether or not it's a senator or a president or a chief executive officer. But again, the idea was to have, and in my case, we're going to do a 7-part series, bring different experts in from different parts of cyber world, which is a big world, and talk a little bit about what it looks like now that we're in the total information age.
So what people do you plan on bringing back? What do you have planned for us?
Well, I cage as many of my friends as possible. So Jen McLaughlin, who is the national security correspondent for Yahoo, will be coming back. Stephanie Pell, who is assistant professor with Army Cyber at West Point, will be coming to talk about how military is dealing with this world. In addition, I will have Roy Hartsfield, who actually worked for CIA up until very recently, and she was the head of human resources for their Digital Innovation Directorate, to talk a little bit about what they're looking for now in the American intelligence community, which is sort of part of this grand world, and what kind of skill set they're looking for from people now. Also, a friend of mine, Randy Fort, who was the chief intelligence officer at U.S. State Department. He worked for Condoleezza Rice, and then a couple of other more senior guys who are senior analysts, both in the intelligence community and outside.
Okay.
Because one of the emphases on this is to make people understand that everybody talks about CIA for information and spying and all that.
Right.
But it's a big private sector area now, as well as the public sector.
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to add for our students?
Well, I would really, I would really like to make the pitch, if you can, to come to these seminars. I think you're really going to have these are really not only interesting, and these are top-notch guys in their field. I mean, we'll have the chairman of the National Intelligence Council, their former chairman, Greg Treverton. Greg actually oversaw all of the analysis of the United States intelligence community, and he set up a think tank looking at how cyber world is affecting guys making decisions, both public and private sector. Because part of the problem right now is you're just awash in the stuff. I've got an iPhone that's seemingly located about 10 feet away from me, with all kinds of apps on it and all kinds of information that I didn't have 10 years ago. You guys are going to be the first generation that are going to have to live with universal information. And that doesn't always lend itself well to decision making, in part because you can fool with the information, in part because it's selectivity of information, depending on what you're interested in. So Greg's going to be talking about that, and again, we talked about some of the other guys who are talking about different parts of the private sector as well. Randy deals a lot with how a Raytheon Corporation, a major contractor, tries to support the U.S. government in terms of the kind of cyberspace issues. I mean, there are two parts of cyberspace. One is, so my friend of mine calls it pipes and water. You know, the water is the information, the pipes are the IT systems. As we all noticed in Iowa the other day, the pipes broke down, okay? The water was there, but the pipes broke down. How do you deal with that when you're dealing with sort of fast-moving events and decision-making that you need to make? So Stephanie will talk a little bit about how the United States military deals with it. Because the U.S. military is looking for total information domination in the field.
Yeah.
Because that's how they roll. That is their advantage. But they can be, so are the Russians, and so are the Chinese. And so Mark Lowenthal and the others are going to talk about how the Russians and Chinese are dealing with this, because we concentrate on non-nation state for a long time, you know, like ISIS and all that. Bad news is that the Russians, who I thought I had defeated, are back, big time. And it's a real leverage in terms of, it doesn't cost much to do this, but you can do a lot of damage. And if you don't think so, you'll notice that we're still talking about the 2016 election here on what was essentially a pretty cheap operation on their part. So that's really covering the field. This is about information, this is about intelligence, this is about public sector, it's about private sector. I think it's a good broad spread. And I hope everybody has a chance to come. I mean, I always know how difficult it is. You're in the middle of the term, and you know you're trying to get all your stuff done. It's Wednesday afternoons at 4 o'clock, I believe it is. It's over at the Dole Institute, which is on the other side of campus over here. And I really invite everybody to come. It's going to be very informal. I mean, I'm going to be sitting there pretty much like you and I are right now, sans the table. We're going to have chairs out there, and I encourage people to come and ask questions.
Yeah.
This is not about hearing the beauties of my voice. This is about hearing the guests, but also hearing the questions that they want to ask.
Well, it sounds great. Ron, thank you so much for being here with us today.
You're entirely welcome. Delighted to do it.
We'll be right back after the break. Have a nice day. You too. Have a great day. Thanks. You too.
Make someone's day. Pay it forward.
Welcome back. I'm Peyton.
And I'm Matthew. This is your Monday Good Morning KU News Update.
State officials held a public forum at KU on Friday to update both students and community members about the coronavirus. More than 14,000 people have died from the virus, which has its origins in China. In 2018, more than 1,000 Chinese students were enrolled at KU, and there has been concern that those students might face some discrimination. Watkins Health Services Interim Chief of Staff, Pavika Sarapelli, said that 196 students have been screened, including all those who had been in China over the winter break, and that none of them have tested positive.
A week after the Oscars, the new #1 movie at the box office is Sonic the Hedgehog. While films based on video game characters are not generally popular, the new release starring Jim Carrey earned more than $50 million over its first weekend in the US and has made more than $100 million globally.
A KU official announced on Friday that the Oliver Residence Hall will be closed permanently. The Residence Hall was closed for renovations after the 2018 to 2019 school year. The building was opened in 1966 and last underwent renovations from 2010 to 2012.
44 Americans traveling on the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan have been infected with the coronavirus. Hundreds of Americans on the ship have been quarantined since February 5th. They are now being evacuated from the ship and flown to the U.S., where they will be quarantined for another 14 days. The people that were infected will stay in a hospital in Japan while they recover.
On Friday, Kansas and National Democratic Party groups sued Secretary of State Scott Schwab, who oversees the state's elections. They accused him of violating voters' rights by delaying the implementation of a new law that would allow for voters to cast their ballots at any polling site within their borders on Election Day, rather than only at a single place.
On Friday, Kobe Bryant and 7 others were announced as finalists for the Basketball Hall of Fame. Bryant, who was 41, retired from the NBA in 2016 after spending his 20-year playing career with the Los Angeles Lakers. The 2020 Hall of Fame class will be announced in April.
And in sports, both the men and women's basketball teams picked up victories over the weekend in Allen Fieldhouse. Junior Marcus Garrett scored a career-high 24 points, including 6 three-pointers to lead the Jayhawks past Oklahoma 87-70. Coach Bill Self said that Garrett was great offensively and defensively, and that he has the green light to shoot.
If Mark makes 6 threes, we'd be hard to deal with. He was great defensively this first half, and certainly I thought he did a great job on Brady for the most part the entire night, and when he guarded Christian, he did a good job on him. But offensively, you know, he was probably the best offensive game he's had since he's been here.
Coach Barron's saying it probably about 2 weeks now that when I'm open, I just need to take them, get a defense, something to look at that's different than me just driving.
The men are now 22-3 overall and 11-1 in the Big 12 Conference, going into tonight's matchup against Iowa State.
The women were led by sophomore Anaya Thomas, who scored 21 points and grabbed a big defensive rebound late in the game. The 82-67 upset win was the first over Texas since 2013, and Coach Schneider praised the team for playing hard, especially when the Longhorns took the lead.
What I want our players to remember about tonight, other than how good it felt to win, but most importantly is how good it felt to play that hard. I remember 3 times where I really felt like they had the momentum and were coming at us really hard. And our team has struggled with that in terms of, you know, maintaining their emotions and being able to move on to the next play. There's times where we've melted in those situations and we've even pouted. And today I thought we responded in the right way in terms of just digging in and continuing to compete and having the mental toughness to move on to the next play.
KU track standout Bryce Hoppel won the USA TF Indoor National Championship this weekend in Albuquerque with a state time of 1:46.67 in the 800 meters. Hoppel turned professional after his junior season so that he can train for the Olympic trials. He is currently ranked 9th in the world.
And that will wrap it up for today's show. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next Monday at 10 a.m. So, how do you feel first show went?
I think it went pretty good. How about you?
I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the video to be shown. I'm really happy that Aaron put that together.
Mm-hmm.
Round of applause for Aaron.
Yes.
I'm really
Aaron,
proud of him.
great
He did
job.
really good. And then, you know, it's fun to be back. I'm really excited for this new crew. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And Stouffer's nice too.
Yeah.
The renovation.
Yes, I am.
Very excited about
I cannot believe how nice it looks. I only been in here for 1 semester beforehand, but like
same, yeah.
the difference is night and day. It's so nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Very excited.
Very excited. All right, everyone. Have a great day.